Going on to my Scorpio. So you have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Five of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, Six of Cups, Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Five of Wands. You didn't want to have to, you didn't want to have to fight with this person that you were getting to know from the past. You didn't want to fight them. If they had issues with you, then they had issues with you. You found yourself being in a situation a little bit too much where you were fighting, you were fighting with them. And because you were fighting with these types of people, right, meaning your ex, someone that you were getting to know recently, right? Not so recently, but recently enough. I would say between 2 weeks and a month. You realize that you fighting against them was not necessarily what it is that you wanted. So because of this, a lot of you Libras decided that, you know what, it's not worth your time, it's not worth your energy. So you really started to pay attention to the scope of the relationship, what the relationship actually means, the value that it has. And a lot of you Scorpios, if I said Libra, excuse me, but a lot of you Scorpios, the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords represent how a lot of you Scorpios happen to also be in a situation where so you didn't want to, like I said, you didn't want to run game, and that a lot of you Scorpios looked at it like you could have ran game on that particular person if you wanted to fight back, but at the same time, you just decided that that was not necessarily the best move that for you Scorpios to make. So the Ten of Pentacles, you started to question the actual validity and the value of the relationship, and you found out that Seven of Swords, all this person wants to do is fight. This is what this person wants to do. This person wants to, instead of them focus on a functional relationship, they sitting over here trying to fight and argue with you Scorpios, and trying to get you Scorpios caught up in some stuff. And a lot of you Scorpios understand that that's not what this is about. So as a result, a lot of you Scorpios had to take a look at them like something wrong with them. Well, there is something wrong with them. And the situation with that is the Six of Cups. So now that you're not with them anymore, because eventually the two of you ended up breaking up, now here they are like a wet dog with their tail tucked in between their legs, trying to come back, so many people have different changes because a lot of people are inconsistent. A lot of people are really not built. Like I said before, people's egos are huge, huge. You get with somebody, things are supposed to be going well, and things are objectively on the outside going well, but then on the inside, it's like now you got to start stirring up some level of commotion, some sort of disruption. Things are going well between the two of you, and then somebody has to act up, and somebody has to start some sort of disruption or interruption. Some sort of chaos ensues, right? And then now this person starts making all these changes, and it's like they're not even evolving correctly, because evolution is chaos, but they're not even evolving correctly. They're not even looking at it from a perspective, or I should say evolution is a part of chaos, but they're not even looking at it from a perspective of, that number one, there is no need to cause mischief in a relationship where it's not supposed to be. And unfortunately, Scorpio, y'all, a lot of times, this is what it is a lot of people don't really particularly get, is that, when it comes to playing games, I said this before, playing games is a very stupid time to spend your time. It's a very stupid time. It's a very stupid way to spend your time, because in essence, some people may disagree with me when they say that, oh, it's a waste of time. You're trying to get to know the person. I respectfully disagree. I think there is a such thing as a waste of time, because that's exactly what it is. It's ultimately a waste of time. The idea that why couldn't a person have any kind of common sense when you Scorpios were with them? Now all of a sudden they had some sort of issue when things, specifically just when they're supposed to be going well, right? Now all of a sudden they have to make all these changes. And you notice how it is that, one partner, usually when it comes to a relationship, when the relationship ends up breaking up, you realize that usually one person is consistent and the other person is constantly trying to seek validation and do all this other goofy stuff. And they did that. So now that they did that, the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups represents your focus is somewhere else. But they don't know how to take that. So they're coming in and they're getting a very unpleasant surprise, because you Scorpios you've moved on. You have moved on. You're moving on, or learning to. And this is the one thing that a lot of those people who wasted your time wish that they didn't do. Waste your time. Because, some people will say, well, oh, it's your fault that you got tricked. Listen, I don't care what anybody says, because I know it to be true, because I've experienced it myself. A person can be perfect. A person can be good for you at the beginning. Know this, know that, be very good. Somewhere along the line, next thing you know, they start switching up. And you start looking at, you start looking at all these different changes, and you're like, yo, why is this person switching up to the degree that they are? Where are all these changes coming from? Why are these changes happening? Why is this person testing me now all of a sudden? And this person gave you Scorpios a little bit too many tests. And at first, some of you Scorpios may have let it slide. Two of Pentacles, for the sake of getting to know them and seeing if there's any kind of real potential that could have been had with these people. But then eventually, a lot of you Scorpios is like, look, I know what it is that you're doing. Let me get out of the way. Stay out of your hair. Let me start to evaluate the relationship. And if the relationship doesn't add up, then I'm bouncing. Here, this person come now. They got to double down on the nonsense. They got to triple down on the nonsense. Because they don't know how delusional they're being. And like I said before, when it comes to tests and testing people, there's no need. There really isn't. People will literally tell you about themselves. Especially today. People, Scorpio, y'all got to really understand that finessing and the ability to finesse and be very good at playing games, that era is over. It's an era. It was a point in time from, I want to say, 2005, in my time, 2005, when I was a teenager, to probably about 2014, 2015. That whole era, I'll give it some grace, 2018. That whole era of 13 to 14, 15 years, that whole era is finished now. That era is finished. And the reason why that era is finished in the first place is due to the fact that because, it's because people are not even very patient at playing games anymore because of the desperation. Because people who play games, eventually, I'm talking about play games to the point of no end. People who play games like that, this is why I explain it to people that at some point, Everybody's going to have to stop. You don't have a choice. Everybody, there's no exception. There's no, look, you can choose to continue to play the game. But you know what else comes with playing the game too when it comes to people who don't realize this because they're too stupid? People who habitually, constantly play games, you know what happens to them? They end up having to come to a complete stop. Or if they don't stop, people start getting hip or aware of what they're doing. Why? Because part of the reason why, not just only because people become more aware of them, but also because the fact that you play so many games, you naturally, the end game is you naturally end up becoming more desperate as time goes on. This is why I'm trying to say I don't waste my time with that stuff. I understand how the games can be played and I understand how to do it. But I also understand that when it comes to playing games, essentially it has to be short term. People don't understand that there is no good outcome to this stuff when you're playing it on a long scale. You playing it for 10 to 15 years. Okay, well, you've accumulated a lot of enemies, right? People will have accumulated, these people who got themselves so caught up with playing games with you, now they're on some Six of Cups stuff, they're trying to come back, they've burned that bridge, they've made you into an enemy, and even if you're not an enemy, where you want to see them down and out, you're not hanging around them. You don't care where they go. People who play games, they spend all their time playing all these games. They end up having to become more desperate over time. This is why it is that I say that most people don't even know how to get away with playing games, and it shows even when they act like they're so smart and they're so intelligent. It's like, yo, you stupid. You have to say yes to that because you're becoming because people who play games, Scorpio, on a long-term scale, right? They can't stop. They doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I mean, the people that they interact with, they just trying to play all these games. They don't even realize that they end up becoming more and more desperate over the years. Let me be more accurate. They don't realize because they know that they're desperate, but they don't realize that people are able to see their desperation is what I mean in particular. So now you Scorpios are in a particular situation where y'all are good. Y'all Scorpios are exercising your own options. Even when it comes to being single, you Scorpios don't want to deal with that. And you know what's going on with these people? Now, the Four of Cups, you don't care what it is that Page of Cups, you don't care what these people, Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. Page of Wands is you don't care what it is that these people have to say or how they're trying to get at you, how they're trying to communicate. Them coming in. You know why? Because of the Four of Cups. You Scorpios would have shifted your attention to the point where you don't even have to be worried because these goofy people are not in your life. This is the reason why I spend so much time trying to tell people this is why it is I say to all of the zodiac signs who rock with me that in the end, people who play games, people who are caught up with this stuff, they don't even realize how stupid they are. They're trying to get something, but eventually they are incurring enemies. So the opposite effect is what it is that they're getting. They want admiration, but they are, in essence, as far as a result, they are getting or gaining enemies where they don't have to because they spend so much of their time doing stupid stuff. And they're so stupid, meaning they're so out of it, they're so out of touch with reality because they're so delusional, they don't even realize that that's what it is that they're doing. Look, you Scorpios are not even worried about what these people have got going on anymore. And here, the Six of Cups, here they are trying to contact you. And some of you Scorpios may not even text them back. Call them back. If they come over, because usually the reason why it is I say text first, or refer to the phone first is because usually when people are trying to come back to you, don't you realize that they usually try to use the phone? Sometimes, yeah, they will come over, but them coming over is too big of a situation. You're at my front door. So that can be ill perceived. So let's clarify the Six of Cups. People don't even realize all these downsides to manipulation. This is why I say that at some point, when it comes to manipulating, you have to stop or continue on. But, okay. So to clarify the Six of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Judgment, and the Queen of Swords. So this represents how a lot of you Scorpios, when it comes to them, here they are trying to wiggle their way back in. And here they are, right? And here you are, the Judgment and the Queen of Swords. Again, when you see that text message, or when you see that call, or when you see that missed call, you Scorpios are not even going to care. Who cares about these people? And you know why that is like that? Because you Scorpios understand, like, yo, these people are too delusional and they're too caught up for this. They were too caught up with the idea that anything that they said that they wanted to do to you was okay. And they allowed themselves to do way too much more than what it was necessary, taking this type of extreme, skewed, slanted perspective out on you. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. You Scorpios are already moving on to other people and talking to other people anyway. So I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers. As of right now, I have 6,560. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.